talk to the street.
Come talk with us on The Street 919 FM.
I'm getting a lot of text messages on WhatsApp. When the rain falls, sometimes guess we're working on it. So Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. No, but that's our Professor Gray, okay. You know. So I'm happy to have you all again to see. You know that?
I know he's a guru to many people.
No, but that's our Professor Gray, okay. You know. So I'm happy to have you all again to see. Happy to have you this Sunday morning. So we had this planned, but how appropriate. So, and let me just qualities, and we had the discussion here already, you know. And to let you know, there are 13 qualities that define a good leader. Honesty is one. One of the leadership qualities that define a good leader is honesty. When you are responsible for a team of people, and when I say a team of people, and its employees are a reflection of yourself, so the cabinet and the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is a reflection on our leader. Honest and ethical behavior is a key value your team will follow. So remember to lead by example. But hear this one. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Mr. Pilgrim.
Important, very important. You know, I recall an interview I had with Dr. Rowley at Balizé House some years ago, in which he made the point several times during that interview. When a person accepts ability is accountability. Mm-hmm. And he was pointing to the fact that a lot of people want to be given big jobs, you know, positions in the community, positions in the party. And when they accept the responsibility of those positions, but it is not a and this is what distinguishes Dr. Rowley from Kamla Persad-Bissessar, because he walks the talk. I remember very 2015, after he was placing in certain cabinet positions, that they should not become wedded to office, that they could be removed at any a certain degree of those tragic 5 years of Kamla's reign. Almost every day we heard people learn a new word, misstep. Almost every day, every week, every month, there were missteps. People being fired left, right, and center. People resigning. People being accused of all kinds of nefarious, immoral activities. Until the Treasury was almost denuded by their greed and dishonesty. Do we give these people another chance? To do what? Imagine you have a potential leader telling people they don't need to pay taxes.
But mind you,
I mean,
they don't need to pay taxes in Trinidad and Tobago, yeah. But they go outside where they have their multi-million-dollar property,
exactly,
and paying thousands of US dollars, yeah, in property, and on time.
Because they can't afford to do otherwise.
Thank you.
They would lose their property. Now, you have a situation in Trinidad, we know this for a fact, where there are a lot of people who have amassed oodles of wealth who are not paying their share in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the smaller man, the smaller man who is overburdened because he may have a job that has a PAYE attachment to it. He has to pay VAT and so on. But the people who are protected by Kamla Persad Bissessar and shielded by her and are scared of Rowley's position that he is determined to introduce a revenue authority to make sure that everybody pays their share in taxes. And you are telling people of Trinidad and Tobago that this is not important. We are going to provide 50,000 jobs. With what?
And where?
And then you go to La Hawketta and these I still want to say underprivileged or marginalized constituencies or areas, and you promise people fridges and stove and water tanks and cell phones and yellow jerseys, and you are hoping that this is going to last forever. What about the future of the children in these communities?
They're not interested in that.
You know, and they're up and down marching and saying, yeah, we will do this, we will do that. Where is the proof? You had a chance to do it when you were in office for 5 years.
3 months and 14 days.
Exactly, because they overstayed their time. You know, so that I am not concerned about the outcome of these elections. I have faith in the decency and the integrity of the right-thinking people of Trinidad and Tobago, who I believe to be in the majority. And I think they could see for themselves, and they could listen to what is being said, and they could know what the choice is between Kamla Persad Bissessar's UNC and Dr. Keith Rowley's PNM. And it is there. And you don't have to look very far to determine whose leadership you want to come under. Look at COVID. And people, let me just say this, that COVID is as rampant and possibly more rampant now than it ever was. The rest of the world, of which Trinidad and Tobago is a part, is faced with increases in the infections every day. Particularly, you know, we like to say that the American dream is where it's at and all this sort of thing.
Not this time.
You know, and I know people in America
wants to come home,
and they used to come here and criticize the health services and say this would not happen in New York, and I would be blah blah blah. Blah. You know,
not today.
And let me just make this one other point. You look at what is happening in the United States and Brazil, particularly, which is right next door, and you look at the escalation in the cases and the deaths and so on. And who are suffering the most? The marginalized communities of black people and brown people. And you know why? Because they do not have the same access to health care that the richer, more well-placed people have. They do not have access to health care. Look at Trinidad and Tobago. We talk about marginalized constituencies in the Bitham, in East Port of Spain. Everybody has equal right to health care. And this is why we do not have a problem of the disease affecting them more than anybody else.
That is so true.
Our equality is more valuable than the equality that the United States claims to have. We have a democracy here that a lot of people are envious of. And all of this, given the fact that we had a father of a nation who tried to impose the three watchwords, the discipline, tolerance and production in the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We have seen the result of some of that in the discipline that people exhibited in dealing with this COVID situation. And people, remember, COVID is still here. Close your ears to Kamala's implorations that we reopen the borders to allow people to come and vote. The people could come and vote when there's when we have a vaccine and we know how to deal with it, and our health services would not be overwhelmed. We are on the cusp of survival and disaster, and you have a choice: survival with the PNM, disaster with the UNC.
And that brings me to say this. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing things right. Following on the heels of what you said, Mr. Pilgrim. So if you're not doing the things right, or you're not leading us down that right path, how would you get good results? Trinidad and Tobago. I see my brother Dominic has joined us. Trinidad and Tobago, this is a morning where you're getting information galore. And the other Sundays going forward, and the other days ahead, you will be getting the information as it comes. And I'm saying to Trinidad and Tobago, and the world by extension, is either do or die. Do you want a leader who will expose us to debt? I mean, debt is inevitable. But do you want a leader who will expose us to debt at her own volition of power? Do you want that? So, we're here, all right? Trinidad and Tobago. I go to Mr. Chance, and then I want you to get ready. We're going to open the lines. It's 10:14 a.m. Today is the 5th of July, 2020. And again, let me say happy birthday, happy belated birthday to my darling son. The last of the, how they say it? The last of the hooray, hurrah. Isaiah. We had a wonderful time yesterday. So, guys, and today Terrell celebrates his birthday, and tomorrow my eldest son celebrates his birthday also. So the last and the first, well, maybe I might have planned too good.